Hey guys, it's Missy Wolf, and I'm here with Kendal Conrad.
Hey, what's up?
Okay, so first I have to say that you have one of the most amazing personalities that I have ever seen. And when I was actually doing my research preparing for our conversation, I was on your website, and you have this opening video that's an About You video.
Yeah, I think it was a couple years ago when Taylor Swift used to do her video blogs, and she used to document her journey through her music career, and I've watched all of them, and they're funny and they're sweet, and some of them are moving and I was just I wanted to make a video, not necessarily to copy that, but I like that I got to know her through her little videos. So I was I'm gonna put a little less than 10-minute, little about me video blog thing on my website, just so people can actually see who I am off. I mean, it's not paper, it's the internet, but off paper, you know what I mean? So that they can see who I am, because reading words off the screen is completely different.
Oh, definitely. And that's why I love when I can't do an on-camera interview. I love to do phone interviews. I mean, I do some email interviews here and there, but really, when the fans can connect to a voice and they can hear your personality come through, it's just so much better. So I loved it. When I saw that, I was like, oh my gosh, this girl is so funny. And then, on top of that, then you read the About You section, and oh my gosh, you're so awesome, and you're out there, you're real, you're telling it like it is. This is who you are.
It's good that someone actually watched the video and read what I wrote on the website, because you never know. I put it up there, and you put it out into the void, and you have no idea who is on there, who's reading it. I mean, some people come up to me at my gigs, and they're like, "Oh, you drink coffee at midnight," or something that's on I put my About Me, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, you actually read that!" And you read the whole thing, and they'll quote something that's in the middle or the end of that entire. I don't remember how many paragraphs it is, but 3-paragraph thing I put on my website, and I was like, wow, that's really cool that you took the time to read that.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, you mentioned the coffee at midnight, and I actually wrote that down because I'm like, oh my gosh, this girl gets it, because that is me. Every single night I'm up writing my articles, and I'm just drinking my coffee, and I'm like, it doesn't keep me awake.
No, here. And it does the reverse now.
Right. Yes. Yes.
It's makes me sleepy.
Yes, it's warm and comforting, and it's just amazing. I know, I get it. So
yeah, I agree.
So I wrote that down to talk to you. I'm so glad you brought it up.
Because it's people they not make fun of me, but people think that is funny.
Oh,
and
absolutely.
I'm no, it's true. I'm not exaggerating.
Yeah.
I could definitely. I do that very often.
I love that, because I always got the same thing. People are like, "How can you drink coffee that late and not be spun?" And I'm like, because it's warm. I can do the same thing with hot chocolate. I don't know. It's just a warm, relaxing drink, and it makes me ready for bed.
Well, and for me, when I was in college, because in my house, people have, my sisters go to work and they have basketball practice, and then my dad comes home from work, and then we eat dinner, and all this stuff is going on, and people are running in and out of the house. So when I would write my papers and my honors thesis, I would have to wait till 10 o'clock at night when everyone is done what they're doing and they're in bed or in their bedrooms, and it's I would wait till really late, so then I'd have a cup of coffee, and it'd be midnight, and I'd be trying to finish this chapter of my thesis, and I'd be drinking coffee at midnight. So that's kind of how I started doing it.
Oh, that's awesome. So I love educated musicians, and I just did an interview with another gal I absolutely respect, Kristen Merlin, and she got a degree. She got her BS in music. So
oh wow.
Which I love hearing that. For myself, I went to college. Did I get my degree? No. Did I pursue classes? Yes. But I didn't follow through, and that's something I've always regretted. So for you, how important was your schooling to you?
Well, I mean, at any time you could go back and finish and do it, which is great about, this level of school. After you get your high school diploma, I mean, it's kind of, the pressure's kind of off with the age thing.
Right.
So like you can go back. I mean, I guess the pressure is off with a high school diploma too, but there's so much with a high school diploma with being in high school and like being that age.
Right.
But, like there was a woman next to me when I got my BA. I guess it was a year ago now, and she must have been, I don't know, 50 or 60 getting her degree next to me. And she walked with me, and she was right behind me. And it was really cool that I got to sit next to her. Out of all the kids in my class, like she must have been the only one there that age, and she was like so proud, and I was just like, this is really, really cool.
Right. No, that's amazing.
So, yeah, it was incredible. And I think she got it. She was actually the librarian where I went to school. Yeah,
that's awesome.
I used to check books. I used to check books out of the library and talk to this woman like all the time, and I had no idea that she was studying for her degree at the same time. But
that's incredible.
But yeah, I mean, it was. I'm really, really glad that I went and then I got it.
Right.
But on the flip side, it really put my music on hold because I couldn't do both at the same time. Like I played a lot of gigs in between my classes and my exams and all that stuff. But I mean, like I just moved to Nashville, and I that had to wait. Like there are so many things that had to be put on hold that I don't regret necessarily, but it was a consequence of pursuing an education. So I mean, I loved where I went to school, and I'm really, really, really glad that I got my degree, but it was very, very time consuming.
It definitely is, and I think that's part of the scary part for some people is, they get so overwhelmed by the thoughts of it that they don't pursue it. Now, my situation is completely different, and the reasons why I had to stop are very different than, for some people. And I do intend to go back, but for now, it's like that is one of those things that I definitely regretted, in the beginning because it took me so long to get started. And then once I did, I had to stop, and it was like, but it'll eventually come back.
No, I hope you do. Good luck.
Oh, thank you. Now, you have some incredible things that have gone on for you that you need to be completely proud of. And I don't even know how the heck you were able to get on stage and sing with Keith Urban. What was that like for you? And did you have any clue you were going to win when you sent in your audition?
No, I didn't. I mean, the video is on private because I didn't want anyone to see it, just in case. Like, there's always that awkward, like, when you do these contests or you send in these videos and people see it and then you don't win, and it's like, oh, you should have won, and it's awkward. Like, your video was great, and I didn't want that. Like, I just wanted to send it in, and if I won, great, and if I got picked, great, and then if I didn't, then no one had to know that I the video. But I was actually playing at Music Fest. I don't remember what day it was in relation to Keith's show, but I played before Keith's show. It was like a week before, inside the Arts Quest building, which was adjacent to where he was playing. So when I did my video, I was like, hey, on the Music Fest website, because I'm already playing at a different location, they do the artist listing alphabetical order by first name. Don't ask me why. I have no idea why. So when I did the video, I was like, my name's right underneath yours on the Music Fest website. And I took a screenshot of it, and it was really funny, and I tweeted him, and I've said that in the video before I sang the song, just something personal that no one else would have. So I said that. I recorded the song, I taped it, I sent him the video on YouTube, and his management called me, and I was like completely shocked.
Oh, wow. Well, and then I'm like watching him call you on stage, and then he says, hey, baby, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, and then he calls your mom baby, and I'm like, oh, my gosh, what was Keith Urban just called you baby?
I don't even remember that, honestly. I don't even remember, like, what exactly he said, or, like, I don't even remember. Like, when I watched that video back, it was like I was seeing it for the first time.
Right.
It was kind of weird. Like, I actually got to watch it and be like, oh, that's how it went down.
Oh, that's funny.
Like, not that I wasn't paying attention, but it was kind of like I was trying to be in the moment, and I was kind of like, oh my God, I'm this close to him, and this may never happen again, and I want to remember this forever. And I wanted to remember, like, when he hugged me, like, he smelled a certain way, like he was wearing some kind of, like, cologne or something, and I was smelling him, and I was like, I have to remember what this smelled like, and I'm going to remember, like, what his fingers looked like when he was on the guitar, and, like, all these things. And then I wasn't even, like, he was talking to me, and I was, like, it was weird. It was, like, this weird out-of-body thing. Like, it was the weirdest thing ever.
that just must have been one of the greatest days of your life, though. And what was it like? I mean, standing on the stage with Keith, but you're looking out and you're seeing all of his fans. And, I mean, that's a lot of people.
Yeah, it was a lot of people. I mean, it felt like I've played at Music Fest a couple years. I think this past year was my third or fourth year playing at Music Fest, and, like, I've played at the Steel Stacks in Bethlehem, and it was kind of like, it felt like being home, really, when I was looking out into the crowd. And I feel like, I don't know, it's like my hometown, kind of. I'm from Pottstown, Pennsylvania, and this was in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, so it wasn't technically my hometown, but it felt like home. So it wasn't like this alien crowd of random people like in Arizona or something. So it was kind of like friends, and it kind of felt like we were all in it together, like, oh, you know, I picked this girl, she's from here, you know, welcome her to the stage. And it was cool, and it was kind of like we were all in it together. And that might sound kind of weird, but it was really cool. Like, when I was looking out into the crowd, I don't know.
Right.
It felt like family, you know, like friends. So maybe it's because I've played there so many times, and seen so many people there.
You looked so comfortable on stage, too. It didn't look like you were the least bit nervous or anything. And I'm just sitting here watching it like, how is she not shaking right now? How is she handling? Like, that is how you know, true artist, true, you know, you took the fangirl right on out of yourself, and you owned that stage and that song with him, and it was really awesome to see. I mean, you know, for the people that are like me, we would have just been quivering and, you know, cowering ourselves, but we never would have auditioned for it anyway. So,
God.
So kudos
like
to
I
you.
said, it's like I knew the area, and like I've played there before. It wasn't like, you win this prize package to get a hotel and we're going to fly you out to, like, Las Vegas. Like, you know, it's like I knew the crowd. I knew how it's like I've grown up here. So, I mean, maybe that helped. Not that I'm trying to play off, like, you know, oh, it wasn't that great. It was because I was comfortable there.
Right, but, absolutely.
But that definitely helped. So,
right.
But, I mean, I was more nervous meeting him, which no one got to see beforehand.
Oh, okay.
I got to meet him before, so it took
that's really
pressure
cool.
off. Yeah.
Right.
I got to meet him before, and I brought my, I forget which album, the Get Closer album. Which is one of my favorite Keith albums like ever. So I'm a huge Keith fan.
Right.
So winning the contest was like, oh my God, like I get to sing with him, but I actually love him, and I get to watch the show from the second row.
Right.
So I brought my album, and I was like, hey, can you sign my CD? And like, he wrote my name on it, and he signed it for me.
Cool. And
like, so I got to meet him before. So that I was like, kind of starstruck, and no one really got to see that, which is good. So you got to see the quote unquote like superstar me that wasn't nervous at all.
Right. No, that's great. And, you know, I have to say, like, you know, for me, and I joke around about it all the time. In fact, with Kristen, I was telling her, like, I'm warning you before our interview, I had to put the fangirl away, but she might slip out a little bit here and there because, you know, you can't help it. Like, you do your job. I talk to people all day long. I love people, genuinely love people. But yes, we all get starstruck at some time. There's always that one person. And, you know, for me, it was John Bon Jovi. And when I got to...
Good choice.
Right?
That is a really good choice to be starstruck over.
Oh, well, so...
Very good choice.
My first time meeting him, I was just completely idiotic.
Where were you?
I was in New Jersey, and, you know...
Okay.
His brother's nightclub, actually, his brother's nightclub called Elements.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's his brother Matt. Yeah, and
that's
so his mom was doing this, fan club CD party thing, and we all got to have our pictures taken by groups. But I had a Bon Jovi tattoo done on my back that I had drawn up, and and I know it's so crazy. I can't believe I'm telling you this, but I have to.
That's fantastic.
So when it was our turn for our group to go take our picture, he had his arms out like he was waiting for us, and I just walked up into his arms, and then I said, "Wait, look what I did for you." And I turned around, and that man started rubbing my back, and I was floored. And then I busted out a Sharpie, and he totally signed my back. And then as soon as all the other fans saw the Sharpie, stuff came out flying everywhere. It was crazy. Sure. I was trying to get my guitar out, or my record out for him to sign, and instead I dropped everything from my purse onto his feet. It was the most mortifying experience ever. And then afterwards I offered him to keep the Sharpie as a memento of myself, because
oh my God.
It was the most crazy I think I've ever been in my life. I was so nervous. And so but I could never have stood on stage with John Bon Jovi trying to sing a song. I never would have been able to keep it together. Never. So
I feel like for me it was singing a song, singing a duet. Singing is what I do.
Right.
So it was kind of I was in performance mode, and I feel like if you talk, you've talked to a lot of artists.
Right.
When you get on stage, you become a better version of yourself. So when I got on stage, I literally was bam, I switched right over into artist Kendal. And when I met Keith before, when it was me and my mom, I was me fangirl Kendal.
Right.
It was kind of two different people, really.
Right.
So I was in full hardcore. This show was sold out. I think there were 6,500 people there.
Wow.
And I was I am going to go out there and I'm going to nail this, and I am singing with Keith, and we are going to sound great. And I was.
And you did. Gosh,
thank you.
It was so fun to watch, and your energy, it was just great. And for me, because I have the fangirl side too, as so many people have, I think that when you get to watch another fan get to do something that they love, and
I know exactly what you mean.
You know what I mean? And yes, I know that that's your profession, but come on, you know what I mean? That's another fan cheering another fan on right here. That was great. That was so awesome.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I was talking about with the crowd, looking out into the crowd. And we were kind of all oh my God, we are all fans here together, except I'm the one on stage. That's kind of what it felt like. You know, we were all oh my God, this cool moment. We got to do it together, hometown people, Dr. to Keith Urban. But,
and I loved when you pointed out your mom. I really did. I loved that. And I was just oh, proud mom moment too. That's great.
My dad was so mad that he couldn't go, because we only had two tickets to the show. We were only allowed to bring one other person, so I brought my mom.
You're sorry, Dad, but yeah. Oh my gosh, that's funny. Yeah, my mom probably would not have wanted to go with me, but I would have dragged her anyway. I'd have been nope, you're going, Mom. My gosh.
I joked about dragging my mom, but she, I was being sarcastic. She really didn't need to be dragged at all.
Right. Oh, that's great. My mom actually took me to my very first Bon Jovi concert, and it was almost like dragging her. She actually dragged her friends along so that she didn't have to be there by herself with me, because, oh my gosh, yeah, that's not her thing. But oh, how fun! So another thing that I read about you is your iPod collection is pretty amazing, and I immediately connected to you with this because, well, let alone the coffee, okay? Because I definitely connected to you with the coffee, and now we've established that we're both kind of crazy fangirls. But your iPod collection, you have a wide range of music on your iPod collection that is just, to me, is so great to see, because there's so much good music out there, and it's not just one genre. And the whole Hannah Montana, I am a Hannah Montana fan. I love all of her songs. Obviously Miley Cyrus, we love her in this house. But what is that like for you? Music just seems like it's just your life.
Yeah, I try not to, I'm a country singer. But I mean, I try not to shut myself off from being open to different sounds or different genres. So it's like my sister listens to like strange, weird, like underground rap music and like hip hop, and then my other sister is more like indie folk rock, or like, and so I get it from like, I get all different kinds of things because we share an iPod library. So they'll just put their songs on there, and my sister will come up to me and she'll be like, you have to sync your iPod. I put some good stuff on there for you.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. So I'll be like, oh, okay. So I'll go like check them out. But I've found some really good music from my sisters, so they help with that. But I mean, I scour and like I try to look at the charts and what's being played or what's being listened to or what other people are listening to.
Right.
And I feel like that's important to look at that, and especially not just like in the country genre, because you can pull some really cool ideas or grooves or whatever from other genres that you maybe wouldn't have discovered or thought about if you had not, listened to other things. Like I have some hardcore, like heavy metal stuff on my iPod. Like I think I have ska, like I like almost every genre on my iPod. It's pretty cool.
Oh, that's awesome. And I love that. And I'm the girl that used to always get made fun of because I listened to Barry Manilow and the Righteous Brothers and Neil Diamond. And then
yeah, me too.
Then you have the Sound of Music soundtrack, and
I have like it's same like Wicked, and like Streisand from Funny Girl, and then I have like Kill Switch, and then like I have like and then it goes to George Strait. Like if I put it on shuffle, it's like soundtrack Broadway songs. So like like these strange like songs from I don't even know what. Like I'll be listening to a film, and there will be a really cool like soundtrack type song in the credits. That's a really cool vibe that would do horribly on the radio. But with the movie, it works fantastic to create the mood. And I'll check it out and I'll be like, wow, this is a cool song. And it's some kind of weird, like, bluegrass folk Americana thing. And I'll put that on my iPod. So, I mean,
there you go.
So it's like, it helps you to be more creative. I feel like to listen to other things. So
oh, definitely.
It's helped me. So.
And I think, too, it connects you to more people. And I say that because, the stories within the lyrics of each type of song, they're so different and they're so real. And it's just, you just get they take you to different places, so you have your really like mad music, and then you have your really sad music. And there's just, you know what I mean? Like there's just certain things you go to depending on how you're feeling. And I really love when people are open to so many different music styles, because I think it helps you grow as a person, and it just helps you learn more about yourself as well. I mean, that's what it does for me.
True. Yeah.
So, and then
true.
You're also, okay, this is probably where I think maybe we don't relate as well, but I'm getting there.
Uh-oh.
No. I know you're going to laugh at me. I used to get punished with reading. So for me, oh, totally. For me, it was, and I know it backfired on my mom, but it was like, you're grounded. You have to read a book and give me an oral book report.
You're one of those.
I'm like, oh man, I got to do that. What? So not reading to read because I wanted to read. It was always like that. Oh, I have to read and I have to do. So for me, reading is something that I'm learning to enjoy now, but I didn't love it for so long. But you have books everywhere and you love to read. And then I find out that you have written these 2 like dark fantasy horror novels that would be great on film. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
Where did you find time to do that?
Yeah, I wrote them in high school, and the one was like incredibly like Stephen King length long. I don't even know how I did it, and I pitched, and I had a partial manuscript request from, I think it was President Obama's literary agency, and I don't think it was his agent in the agency. It was the one who handled the fantasy and horror submissions. And I had a partial manuscript request from that person, and I was like, what? So I feel like I got some good feedback from it. So
wow.
Yeah, at the end of the day, I could not get either of them published, but I mean, it was a pretty cool experience. Like for anyone listening, like I did the query letter, like I did all of that stuff, and I pitched my idea. So it was pretty cool. It was definitely a learning experience, because if I ever wanted to go back to it, I know exactly what the process is, which is really cool.
Exactly. And I wouldn't count it out just yet either. I mean, maybe people weren't ready for it then, but, maybe they will be,
Right, Yeah.
I think that's amazing. And, you never know. And so many people, in fact, I grew up with, girls that I graduated high school with that are now, these established writers, authors, and they've had things published. So, I mean, and then other people are doing it themselves. So you never know. You just never know. And I think that's incredible. And I mean, I was just stunned. I'm like, did I read this right? Did she wrote two? Like, what? That's crazy.
Yeah, and I wrote another one because I don't know what the heck I was doing, honestly. They were both in high school. So I was going to be this big, like, I was going to be the female Stephen King. Like, I had this whole fantasy played out in my head.
You know what? There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. I love it. And one thing that I also love is now you chose your confirmation name. You chose Cecilia because it means the patron saint of music. Mm-hmm. Now, was that something someone suggested to you, or did you just you knew that was what you wanted?
I feel like that was in 6th grade, I think. And everyone, like, you were supposed to pick something that you felt was, I don't know, described you, maybe. I don't know if that's the right word that I'm searching for, but you wanted to pick a saint that you felt like kind of represented who you are. So I was going through names, and some people picked names that they thought sounded cool, or kind of for superficial reasons, like, oh, this sounds cool, let's go with that.
Right,
so I was kind of like, I think it was down to Cecilia and one that was like for education or for literature reading or something like that. Maybe it was for a teacher or something like that. But I wound up going with Cecilia. So, and I think that was all. I picked that all in my.
Right.
It was pretty cool. Yeah. And then my mom got me it's like a little Cecilia statue kind of model thing, and I keep it in my place in Nashville now.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, to give me some luck down there. So.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'll keep you posted if it works for me.
Oh, it will work. It absolutely will. Now, you, speaking of your mom, you wrote a song for your mom, and it's called Imagine.
Mhm. Yeah,
now,
I think that was the first or second song I ever wrote. Second, maybe. Second song I ever wrote.
I want to know, because, I'm a mom, so I want to know, like, what was the reaction from your mom when you told her you wrote this song, and I'm assuming you sang it for her.
Yeah, I sang it. I don't think I told her until I was at a gig, and it was like a 3-hour gig at a country club, and she and my dad went, and they were eating dinner or whatever, and it's usually like 3 hours of covers, like I'll throw some originals in. So I was like, randomly, I was like, hey y'all, I just wrote this one. I wrote it about my mom. She's here today, so I wanted to dedicate it to her, and she like had no idea. And I feel like I didn't really like look at her, because it's kind of like that awkward, should I look over at her? So I don't think I really like stared her down, but yeah, she really loved it. So it was a nice moment.
Oh, that's awesome. I just imagine like what that would have been like for her. And, I know for me, I'm just one of those emotional beings anyway. I'm just like, I got cursed with like all those emotional feelings that make me cry at the drop of a hat. I'm like, I'm one of those lucky girls. So
I am too. That's okay. I am too. Like it's really bad.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get over it, but I can't.
Right? And it's like, you'll see something on TV, some really sad commercial, and you're just like, oh my gosh, I can't.
You're in tears.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a curse.
It definitely is. And it's one of those things where my daughters will look at me, they're like, Mom, are you okay? Like, I'm fine.
I can't embrace it.
Yeah.
Embrace it, because you can't help it.
Exactly. It's just one of those things, and I'm like, oh my gosh. But there's another thing that I saw in your video that I was like, there is no way you got this. How in the heck did you get a dress from Whitney Houston?
Oh, you know what? Someone else that just interviewed me asked about that, because I completely forgot that I put that in that video. But my mom got it for me. My mom got it for me. I don't remember which birthday it was, but it was like an open last birthday gift, and like I'm obsessed. I still am obsessed with Whitney. She's one of my favorites.
Absolutely.
But it was like an open last gift, and like it was that time when like I was completely obsessed with her. Like I was going through like the first time of watching The Bodyguard, and like I was kind of just getting into her, and like watching like her concerts, and I think I watched like the Live in South Africa concert. I don't know if you've seen that one, but if you haven't seen
haven't.
Oh my God, it's she's at her peak, like it's her prime. It was, her voice is fantastic. I've seen that concert. I've watched it so many times. I think they're at least on YouTube.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's incredible. But it was an open last gift, and I opened it, and I thought it was just a dress. I was like, oh wow, this dress is gorgeous. I think it's like, I'm looking at it right now. It's like peach velvet. I think it's like peach velvet or something, but I was like, wow, this dress is fantastic. And then I think it came with like a certificate of authenticity, and yeah, it was, she wore it. And I found the magazine cover that she wore it on, and I was like, wow, she actually did wear this, and here she is in it. And
did your mom ever tell you how she got it?
She got it online at an auction site.
Oh, wow.
That's all I know. She bought it online. Someone was selling it at an auction, and she got it. So it was pretty crazy. And like it fits me, and I wear it.
You know what? I saw that in your video, and I was like, you wear it, really? Like that is so great, and I love that. And you just must feel so powerful when you put that thing on. Like,
oh, absolutely, yeah. Like I've worn it a couple times. I didn't want to like overwear it, which is hard to do.
Right.
So I picked a couple of times that I thought were like really special to me that I wanted to wear it. But like it's crazy, and like I can't believe, like it literally is like I was poured into it. Like I have to like change any of the measurements, or like it fits perfectly, and it was just weird that it fit perfectly, but it does.
Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, it was like, yeah, it's still in my bedroom, and it's like hanging on my door, and like it's just,
that's so really cool. Yeah, I love that. And you know, for any collector, number one, any fan of anyone, you know, to have a memento of somebody you just absolutely adore and admire, that is huge. And so what a cool gift for Mom. Way to go, Mom. That's awesome.
And it's also funny because like in the picture, I feel like she's doing one of those like looking over the shoulder shots. And on the dress, there is a foundation stain on the shoulder. And that's her freaking makeup. That's her makeup.
Right. Absolutely.
And that's the foundation that they couldn't get out of the material. And I'm like, wow. Kind of, I mean, you really can't see it. I can see it because I'm wearing it, but I kind of looked at the picture, and that's kind of like where her chin was positioned. It's kind of stupid because I've like analyzed this.
No, because that's what we do, and I get it. I totally get it. No, it's good.
So I was like, oh my God, like, wow. Like her face was right here.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's great.
Now all I need is something that Reba wore, and then I'm good.
Definitely. Well, we need to get on that. Reba, if you're listening, we need to get Kendal something of yours.
We need a donation.
Yes, we do. Oh my gosh, that's so awesome.
Preferably, like, she wears these like sparkly, blinged out, like, I think they're like tank tops, but they're really like literally glittery. And she wore this one, and it was like navy blue, and it's like all sequins. And every time she wears it, I'm like, oh my God, I want that shirt.
You're like,
so
I want
bad.
that. I want that.
Yeah.
That's
so
awesome.
She has like more than one that she
right.
wears, and the other's in the wash, like whatever.
Right.
The glittery navy blue.
Absolutely, Reba. Don't give it away to anybody else. We already have a home for it right here. That's so awesome. No, there's another thing about you that I absolutely adore, and that is your passion for your fans. And I'm going to quote you here because this is what you wrote on your I believe it was on your Facebook page. It might have been on your website page, but I think it was on your Facebook page, and it said, "I try to reply to every single person who leaves me a message because if you took the time to listen to my songs or write me, then I can take the time to thank you." That, first of all, I'm just going to give you, a pat on the back right now because you get it and you understand what it's like. And so many of the new and upcoming artists are just, they are so thankful to their fans, but you took it a step further. And I thought, wow, that's so great to hear, especially for fans, because they do love to be acknowledged when they're a fan of someone and they reach out, and then when that person reaches out back to them, they're blown away and they're stunned. And you never know if that person was having a horrible day and you just turned their entire day around.
Right. Yeah. I feel like other artists have said, if you're going to, buy one of my concert tickets and use your hard-earned money that you worked for to go to my show or to buy my single on iTunes or whatever, the least that you can do is acknowledge them. Like I see so many artists that don't even have labels, or they're, they don't acknowledge the people that are like tweeting them or talking to them or Facebooking them. And again, like I've become friends with a lot of these people that have reached out and said that they liked my music or they come to my shows or whatever.
Right.
And again, if it's the same people or whatever, they know. You don't have to answer them every time. But if you have someone on there who's like, "Hey, I just listened to you. I just saw you." Like, you should answer them.
Absolutely.
Like, it's just mean not to answer them, especially if you see it. Like, why not answer? Well, so I try to answer everyone. I really do.
And I think that is just, so amazing. And, there are a lot of top 40 artists or, bigger name artists that, they will try to reach out here and there. Sometimes, with Twitter, I think it's a lot easier for a lot of the artists. But for the most part, they have people who are running those sites for them. And and they're so busy and they don't have the chance to do that. But I just think when you have that personal connection and you take the time, the Swan Brothers, I actually, when I talked to them, they give out guitars during, some of their shows. And, they were saying, when they were a kid, I believe it was Zach said when he was a kid, he was given a guitar and he still plays it to this day. He was like 16. Oh, wow. And, and he'll never forget that. So he wants to do that and change somebody's day and, reach out to them. And exactly. So when you have artists that are taking the time, I just think it's so much more meaningful. So when I read that, I was like, hands down, my gosh, that was so nice to read. And I respect that so much because
thanks.
Too many people, I don't think, do it.
No, I agree completely. It's kind of like you're tweeting, you're Facebooking, and you see all these comments. You can just like the comment on Facebook.
Right.
Facebook has made it so easy.
Oh,
you don't even have to say anything. Just acknowledge that you saw that person's post. And you see it with some people, and it's like, you don't have hundreds of comments. It would take you 2 seconds to click the like button from a comment when they said, "You look great," or "Great song," or "I saw you," or whatever. You don't even have to answer if you don't want to. Just click the like button. And Twitter, too. They have the little hearts, the little like button.
Absolutely. And
it's super easy.
It really is. And, what a great way to be able to make somebody's day, because you just never know if somebody's at the end of their rope. And then, somebody that they're a fan of, like, reaches out to them. It could change everything. And I just, music is very powerful, and the people that are behind it have a huge effect on others. And I just think it's so great. And you are such a positive, person and role model for others. You really are. And in one of your songs, I don't know if you've been told this or not, but "Your Heart Is Safe With Me." I was watching you sing that, and you sounded so much like Taylor Swift to me in that song. And I was like,
really?
You did. And I was like, Whoa. It was
awesome.
It was so fun. And I mean, there was a couple of times where I was like, that's just crazy. Like, wow. I mean, you're so good. You really are so good. And it's
not on purpose, but I will take that because I love Taylor.
Well, that's good. I mean, I think the whole world loves Taylor at this point. Like, she's one of the smartest businesswomen too. I love her.
But it's kind of sad to me because it's like I look at pop before Taylor, and it was like you have so many great women. You know, Katy Perry, Rihanna, you had Lady Gaga, Adele. You have so many fantastic women in pop, and it's like you have Taylor in country, because Miranda and Carrie are not the same kind of style as Taylor.
Right, no.
You know, Taylor's the only one out there on the front lines kind of doing the country pop thing. And Miranda and Carrie do have a couple songs that lean in that direction. Right. But their overall image is not, you know, hardcore pop country. It never really was. So Taylor's the only one really doing it. And like I said, in pop, there are so many talented women singing pop music. I just don't understand why there aren't more girls in country. And I know kind of everyone across the board has been saying this. Right. But especially the pop country. You know, like I don't understand why no one else is kind of jumping on that bandwagon.
Well, and I think right now what we're seeing is, you know, the starting of that trend. I mean, there's more and more, you know, female artists rising up in the ranks that are, you know, that are really, really, really good. And I mean, definitely you're a part of this. And, you know, it's not going to be long before we definitely have what we've been wanting, which is really great, powerful female, you know, artists in the country music world who, you know, can do more than just the traditional country. And they, you know, I
started, I don't know if you listened to like Country Queen or any of that that I did last year, but I did that EP and I was listening to it, and then I've gotten some feedback from some people in the industry and like some agents and stuff like that, and they're like, it's great, but it's like too country. So that's, you know, Your Heart is Safe with Me, that was a newer one, and the other one, This Is How You Lose Her, and the ones that I have on my YouTube, like they're kind of, I just kind of wrote them. And I've been trying to go more pop country now because it seems like that's going to be the new trend. I don't know.
Yes.
That's what people have been telling me. So it's like we have yet to see it, though. You know, it's so tough.
It's just, it's like one of those things where like it's bursting at the seams. It is going to explode, but right now it's just, it's like right there. And I mean, you would not believe how many female artists I've been talking to lately. And I mean, there's so much talent that I'm just like, I'm floored that not all of these women are getting radio play. And I'm like, what is wrong with these people? Like, they need to start playing these amazing songs from these incredibly talented women. It's just insane to me, and I don't understand it. So I think that people need to start calling into their radio stations, and I think that they need to start, you know, telling everybody, hey, look at this person, look at that person, let's get them on the radio. So
like, I started listening to I Got the Boy, Jana Kramer, I think when she put that single out to radio, and it's been like, so it's been on the chart like a really, really long time. And I think it cracked the top 15, and I think it's got positive spins, but it's like people like Carrie Underwood just tweeted Jana and was like, oh my God, I love that song. And I was like, oh my God, I've been listening to this song since she put it out, and I love it. Like these women, they aren't getting the promotion, they're not getting the press. Like, this is an amazing song. Like this, and people need to hear this music. So it's frustrating.
Well, and
not just pop country, like whatever you do. Like, there are no women on the chart.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree 100%. We need to change that.
We do.
So, oh my gosh. Well, you know, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. And, you know, if you have anything coming up that you want to tell us about, I know we didn't really talk about what you have coming up. So,
oh no, that's totally fine. No worries.
Okay,
you'll have to give me another interview, though.
Okay, no, definitely. You know what? I might be stuck in California right now. I had moved out to Nashville in 2013, and that's a whole nother story, but I will be back to Nashville. I love Nashville. I miss it. My girls and I, we are dying to move back out there. So as soon as that happens, we will definitely do an on-camera interview. That's where my videographer is, the co-founder, you know, of Center Stage Magazine is out there. So
like, I'd love to meet you.
Absolutely. Well, you're so much fun too. Like, we'll have to have coffee at midnight. It'll be great.
For sure.
Definitely.
We should do it.
Definitely. I am so there. But in the meantime, if anything, if you need us to promote anything for you, just let us know and we'll make sure, we do our best to get you out there. And we're going to have all of your links to every social media site that you have. We'll have it all attached to this article so the fans can see you. And we need to get everybody requesting you for radio. And
oh, thanks.
Absolutely.
Thank
no problem.
I'm trying. So, I mean, like I have this 4-song EP that I recorded at Reba's place. I think it was like last September or something. So, and it was 4 songs, and I love the EP. I love it a lot.
Absolutely.
But it's like everyone's telling me it's too country. And it's just like, oh my gosh, really? Like just because I put a fiddle in it?
Right. Well, I don't know what to say about that other than you need to go with your heart. And, if you love it, then your fans are going to love it because your fans love you. So, and I mean, there's nothing wrong with being who you are and adding some other things with it, but you don't have to change who you are completely. So.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I'm hoping. So it's like I've been writing this new material, and I'm like, okay, so let's go with a more pop country bent and see what happens and see what they say about that. And they were like, maybe I could re-record the ones that are on the EP and make them sound completely different. It's the same material. It's crazy.
Right. And oh gosh, all that hard work too. I can't even imagine, and you feel like you're starting from scratch. Just because you have the lyrics doesn't mean you have the style.
Exactly what my mom said.
Right.
It feels like we're starting from scratch again.
I'm sure. Absolutely.
And it's like I love the songs that were on the EP, but on the flip side, it's like I'm not dying with these 4 songs, so it's kind of like I'll write some new material and see what happens with that. So it's like you're going to have to write a full album anyway.
Right.
So it's hard to predict what the labels and the radio stations want to hear.
Right.
And then it's hard to try and fuse that with what you want to do.
Right.
And then it's like, should I do this and try to break in?
Right.
Or should I be a stickler with this? It's to try and figure it out.
And the thing is too, is not, I mean, I learned this a long time ago. No matter what you do in life, you are never going to please every single person. Right. Some people are going to be happy with this decision. Some are going to be happy with that. And I will tell you again with the Bon Jovi, I'm so sorry, but
no, do it. No,
he took a lot of his, songs like "Living on a Prayer" and and "Wanted," and he completely redid them. Like he and there's an album called This Left Feels Right, and what he did was he redid so many of his hit songs, completely broke them down to their core, and they're incredible. Did it make every single fan happy? No. Did it make me happy? Absolutely. But it was just.
Can I listen to it? Where is it? Is it online?
He's probably got it online. And if I have an extra copy, because that's something about my fangirl stuff, is I would buy my CDs in copies of 4. So I know, I'm so bad.
If I meet him and I'm going to hook you up again.
Right. Oh my gosh. He's just, it's just one of those things. And I actually have a really funny story about, the producers of Oprah called me or emailed me because so many of my coworkers had nominated me to meet him, but I was in California and the person that won that got to be on the show, on Oprah's show with John, she lived a lot closer to John. So it was so different, it was so much easier for them to pick her. But yeah, I was in the running, and I think I actually still have all my emails from her producer saved.
Oh, I would have saved them. I would have saved them too.
But I will definitely, I will find you those songs on the CD or whatever, and if I can email them to you some way, I will. Otherwise, I will just pop them in the mail to you.
You don't have to do that.
Oh no, but I want you to see, you can still have your songs, and if you decide to flip them around and to break them down to their core and change it, I mean, it's so cool. And I know.
Yeah, and you can do it. It's not like.
Yeah. And I know because you're so talented, you're going to make it amazing. You absolutely are. So
thank you.
No, you're welcome.
But it's tough because it's like you said. I moved down to Nashville. I've been there like a grand month or something. But there's just there's so many people down there doing it. And it's like, how are you going to stick out with all these people?
Because you're not going to give up. And because, here's the other thing is you're you and you own you and you know what you want. And as long as you don't let go of that and, and you're you, just be you. And I think that's all you really need. Don't get caught up in how many people are there trying to do what you're doing, because you know what? They can't do what you're doing because you're the only one who can.
That's true. That is so. Putting it.
I mean, I don't know, but being a fan of all music, and I love life, and I love watching people get what they work hard for, and you are very unique. There's something very special about you.
Aww,
and that's why I was very glad for this interview. You definitely are a blessing to the music industry. So don't stop. Keep doing what you're doing and stay in touch.
Thank you so much for talking to me.
Oh my gosh, no problem.
I really appreciate it.
Thank you. And I will get this, out for everybody to see. And man, I can't wait for what you have coming up next. I know it's going to be great. So
I hope so. I'm really trying. I'm talking to some people in Nashville that, are said that they would help me, and it's like they're trying to get me meetings with people. And it's like I email them every day, and I'm like, hey, did you get our meeting with whoever yet? And it's like I email them every 3 days, and it's like sometimes they answer, sometimes they don't. It's so crazy. And it's like I'm so, not impatient, but I'm kind of like, if I'm not working on something, I feel like I'm wasting my time. So a couple days will go by where it's like I've been in sweats and I've played video games for 3 days and I'm like, nothing has happened and I haven't really done anything. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to book a show.
Right.
Go do something because I feel like I've wasted my time. So it's frustrating for me waiting for them because it's like I can't do anything about it to expedite the process. It's just I have to sit here.
Trust me, I get it. It's like my move to Nashville. It's just every day that goes by, it's one day sooner. Right? It's going to happen one day sooner. And, the word eventually has become a huge part of my vocabulary. It will eventually happen. So waiting can be really hard. I get it. But, just stay the course. You're doing an amazing job. And I know great things are coming for you. So
that's really nice of you to say. So thank you.
No problem at all. And if there's anything we can do for you at Center Stage, let us know. And, not at all. That is a dirty, dirty rumor. No, I'm just kidding. So just, stay in touch because we love you. And if we can be of any assistance at all, I know that we would be more than happy to do that. And, just have a good rest of your evening. And let us know when you have something coming up, and because we want to share it for you. So.
Oh, great. Yeah, I will definitely take you up on that if I have anything going on.
Absolutely.
I'm working with this TV show. They haven't pitched it to a network yet, and we haven't even filmed yet, but it's about people who've just moved to Nashville and breaking into the business, and they have some contacts with some major networks, and they're going to do, I think they're calling it a sizzle reel or something, and and they're going to pitch it, and they're going to see if they can get it picked up. So
oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be in Nashville. So maybe I can talk about that. I don't know. We'll see.
Definitely.
So,
well,
different things. So
all right. Well, we will keep our fingers crossed, and we will pray for you. That's amazing.
You.
I'm so excited.
I'll send some out to St. Cecilia and see.
Absolutely. There you go.
Work magic for me.
There you go. All right, my dear. Well, you have
I followed you on Twitter, and I saw your tweet, and I retweeted it.
Oh, you're so awesome. Awesome. Oh, I love you. Okay. All right. Well, have a good rest of your evening, and I promise you we will talk to you soon.
Okay, great. Yeah, sounds good. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.